Hey guys, Dreams here again. This is me. What if Batman had superpowers? Now, I made this all up on a script as well after watching The Invincible second episode of season 2, where we see Darkwing's assistant with superpowers. Using assistant very loosely. He's a psychopathic sidekick, but okay. But yeah, now I'm gonna go with Batman's aesthetic, but also keep the shadow thing, where Batman would basically have umbra-kinesis, but he uses it in a certain array. Where Batman's umbra-kinesis will allow him to turn darkness into weapons/objects that are harder than most Earth-based materials. The point where there's not really much that can contend the durability of Batman's objects out of darkness. He can also merge with darkness and travel through it, kind of like how Reaper does when he turns into a shadow. But the thing is, Batman can do it with his own body, or straight up just jump into a shadow and run through it at Mach speeds. And that's kind of how he ejects. He kind of just travels through shadows, and then boom, he's in the air. No grappling hook needed. So yeah, a lot of his tools are made void. The point where his belt is mainly full of medicine. So yeah. But also, this does due to him basically having superpowers naturally by birth. This does give him basically just supernatural physical ability, being stronger physical. He's already peak human. Like, oh, he can lift 1 ton at his maximum. That's upgraded from 1 ton up to 5. Or honestly, enough strength to eradicate dozens of walls with like a single smack against it. Kind of just has that level of strength where he's like, this would put Batman is very similar to Yujiro Hanma, ironically, just because it's funny. So yeah, basically this is called Batman Yujiro Hanma. But yeah, just better skill. So also Batman can make himself intangible. He has his night vision or just UV vision in general. Like, using any kind of vision, he kind of has aside from thermal vision. So, yeah. And microscopic. Yeah. Also, you can kind of just absorb certain levels of bright attacks. Like, if it's like Dr. Light from, like, the Teen Titans series, Batman can basically go up to him and grab him and absorb a majority of the light he has. So, yeah. And he can also control, like, shadows that he's inside of. But, yeah. But I'm going to go on how Batman would awaken his powers. Bruce is born as a seemingly average child, but when his parents died, he went on a quest to become the Batman. Originally, Bruce trains at a monastery in the Himalayas, and while he meditated, the wisest monk there would tell Bruce, "A man like you will struggle to abandon your righteous anger. My advice is to harness it and turn it into your greatest ally." Batman was confused on what the monk meant, and he just thinks, how do I harness my anger into my greatest ally? Trying to lose it. Why would I hang on to it? But then Bruce began thinking. He thought of bats, their dark fur, and their nocturnal habits, and finally the danger. They're the danger of bats to other animals, or insects. Bats are so small, yet they hunt so many things that would fear them. And Batman begins thinking, or Bruce does. So far he seems kind of average in build. He wouldn't seem intimidating. Then he's thinking, he needs to treat the villains he fights like insects. They'll see something that seems bigger, something that can make him big. He's remembering that bat that he saw as a kid. A bat flying at his face. Looked humongous, terrified him. That's the last time he recalls feeling fear. Thinking a bat that close was huge, but in reality it's probably as big as his hand. Then he had it. Something that could rush insanely fast. You've been thinking, what travels fast? Shadows, they travel with you. He was thinking, shadows, darkness. All that would awaken to Bruce's irises, and basically his pupils, color around his eyes, turning completely black. Monks would notice this, and Batman just stands up, a shadow sitting with him as if it was sentient. And Bruce then just says he has it. But then he would look outside, noticing it's daytime already. He remembered he was meditating at night. And the wisest monk would just look at Bruce and say, you did good. Now learn. Learn how to use it. Now Bruce would notice that it's harder to use the shadows during the daytime, so he would continue meditating until nighttime, trying to harness some control over his shadows. And Bruce would continue doing this, training at night, meditating throughout the day, hardly even eating. The thing is, He didn't eat. He didn't drink. And his body never really lost any mass. It seemed that his shadow was sustaining him. Bruce fed off the darkness around him. And after a few months, the monk will walk over to Bruce, wake him up. So you finally found your greatest ally. Bruce looked into the darkness as he held his hand out. It crawled onto him, kind of like a suit. He just nodded and said, "Yes. Yes, I did." Bruce returns to Gotham a few years later, and Bruce has mastered his shadows. Due to Bruce's metahuman DNA, he's also able to get stronger, smarter, faster. Bruce's body advanced faster than the highest of human possibilities. Bruce was no longer a regular human. He was the pinnacle of metahumans. Then, with Bruce's base speed, that's one thing that's different. Is that, yes, I'm making a joke that he's Yujiro Hanma, but physically, like, if you just use his base speed, he can run, like 100 miles an hour. This Bruce can run well over 500. Actually, at about 500. So it basically just outruns the majority of cars he comes in contact with, and just literally just yanks the door off of it, and throws it to the side, before reaching in and grabbing the villains. That's just how fast he can be. Strength to the point where basically you can just lift up cars, and the thing he struggles to lift would be something like he can pretty candidly just grab a semi-truck and struggles to hold it because it's big, but if you just get say a tank, he can easily hold things like that. There's really no known level to his strength, considering that he's kind of a city kind of person. And this is before the Justice League. By the way, if you guys want to go to the comics, no, I'm going with the DC AU, like the one you find on HBO Max animated universe. But yeah, but his intellect grows faster as well. They can't find out how smart is someone like Lex Luthor. When Enterprise does grow a lot faster because of that. But also due to him taking information a lot faster, to the point where his martial arts skill is basically unmatched by everyone, as he is a very similar to Taskmaster in Marvel, where he can kind of copy. But this time Bruce doesn't really copy. He's very analytical, and can basically determine what martial art you're using, and immediately come up with a counter to it, and then learn it in his spare time. Point where basically no one really contests him in power. He kind of enjoys that. So yeah. Now, eventually Batman would begin his crusade across the criminal streets of Gotham City. All the villains are genuinely scared of the Bat, since he's basically a monster made of darkness who shitstorms them. They think they're all locked in. No. He can just look through windows and just, pass through it. He phases through things. As long as he can see on the other side of it, he can go through. And really, no villain has ever found a way to hit him. If they even get close enough, he's intangible. Plus, his much more advanced suit that's actually coated in darkness due to how just durable it can be. They can just shoot at him and the bullets just go right through him, or they just shatter on impact. So with this, when villains like Joker try messing with Batman, they're more likely to try to just go for other cities because Batman scares them and he ruins their plans so easily. The point where Joker's more likely to go after Flash because he refuses to fight Batman when he ruins his plans within a few minutes of knowing about them. So yeah. But if the Flashpoint would occur, and it resets the entire universe. With this, we offer Bruce's story restarting with the first movie, Justice League War. Glenson will be fighting a parademon, and when he's close to death, a batarang would hit the parademon. The parademon will try to pull it out. As soon as he tries to pull it out, it realizes it's stuck. This is a trick that Batman has. He'll throw batarangs at people or objects. If it's at people, usually on their legs. As soon as they try to yank it out, he controls the darkness on it, and basically has a batarang, clung to the bone. Parademon tried pulling it out, but when it tried, it nearly inked its brain. And then it did. And Green Lantern would immediately aim at Batman, saying, "Hey, who the hell are you? You killed it! Or you killed that guy. We could have gotten..." And was just helping a woman off the building that Green Lantern had left stranded up there at some point. As in the movie, he did save a girl and left her stranded on top of the building. And Batman got her down. He just looked like Green Lantern, saying, "We don't get answers from brainless aliens who babble for a single sentence." And Green Lantern's like, do you know what that sentence means? Batman says, "For Lord Darkseid is an annoying sentence. I've heard it for hours already. I've hunted too many to the point where I'm just killing them now." Pause. And Batman looked like Green Lantern again, saying, I gathered for Lord Darkseid off my interference of their actions. Did you gather a single thing?" Green Lantern looked annoyed as he tried to argue with Batman, but Batman, being Batman, just argued back and won every single point. Batman looked at the parademon, walking over to examine it, and suddenly it crawled to his feet and tried escaping. Batman just dived into the shadows and launched out, finding the parademon. He grab it from the back, only for it to just yank Batman off, showing pretty good strength. But eventually the parademon would go to the sewers, and Batman and Green Lantern follow. And while they're in the sewer, Green Lantern kind of just looks at Batman, saying, "So what's your power? You turn into a bat or something?" Batman just remains silent until Green Lantern looks shocked, saying, Are you just a rich guy in a suit?" And Batman's in front of him right now. And the bat remains silent until Green Lantern looks shocked again. His ring was in Batman's hand. And Batman says, "I have powers, but being rich is a big help. Those powers got this ring off your finger before you could even blink. In fact, before you even started speaking to me, it was off your finger. You just didn't notice. Hal looked at his shoes, while they're covered in dirt and literal shit." And he threw the ring back as he and Hal had both spotted the parademon. As the bomb was about to go off, Batman would immediately just pass the parademon, Hal capturing it, and Batman would grab the bomb and wrap his entire body and just, wrap Shadows and his body in the bomb. The bomb goes off. Batman comes out of it with his suit having a few cinch marks, but other than that, he's completely fine. You did notice that Batman's face was exposed and wondered about that, but only to see there's just darkness covering it. So with this, Batman would just stand up, holding the mother box, and then he actually has an idea, saying, I think Superman could help with this. He's an alien, I think. Let's head to Metropolis." And with this, in Metropolis, Batman is attacked by Batman and Green Lantern are attacked by Superman. He flies at Batman, but Batman would just vanish. Lantern and Superman fight, but when GL is almost hit, Superman's foot is grabbed from below, and he's thrown into a wall. The thing is, no one's ever really thrown Superman that hard. Even Lex's suit don't compare. Reason being that Batman, he doesn't know that people like Bane exist, Venom exists. So in case he ever encounters someone with such as that much enhancement compared to him, who's also a metahuman, there's an exoskeleton in a suit that has enhanced physical power. This kind of multiplies Batman's physical power, beside just raw physical strength and speed, by roughly about 20 times. So already if we go with my joke, we have Yujiro Hama, who can kind of just subdue an earthquake. We'll multiply that by 20, which is kind of just ridiculous, but still. GL began helping with Superman, which kind of annoyed Superman that he's being double teamed by a guy in a bat suit and a guy in a green suit. Now we did try to hit Batman again, but his fist seemed like it hit nothing. Batman just stares down at him and said, "Keep this in mind. When you pick fights with me, your villains also tried messing with me. So I kept a few souvenirs." And this actually confused Superman. What do you mean? What do you mean that you kept a few souvenirs from my villains? This being that, simply put, Batman's villains went to Metropolis to mess with Superman. Superman's villains went to Gotham to mess with Batman because they found both villains too hard. Batman likes these villains because they give him tips on how to beat Superman. Thing is, he figured who Superman was a while ago. He's just not really saying a thing. Batman does have kryptonite. That's why he's about to beat his ass. So, yeah. This Batman gave him kryptonite, and he will genuinely beat the absolute hell out of Superman. So, yeah. If Superman would be still confused, only just get a right jab, from something that looked like green brass knuckles. And suddenly, he gets hit with him over and over and over again, to the point where his eyes is just swollen, and he's dripping blood from his mouth. But suddenly he's picked up and just suplexed by Batman, and that's where the fight ends. Pause. Alright. So, after Batman had knocked out Superman using kryptonite he'd gotten from, like, Luthor or probably any other villain that fights Superman, Superman had just woken up a few minutes later. Superman had woken up in the sewers to Batman and Green Lantern and Flash discussing the Mother Box. Superman just gets filled in, and she asks Batman where he got kryptonite. Batman says that Superman had annoyed Luthor enough. When Joker went to Gotham that one time, Lex Luthor tried to leave to head to Gotham. Superman's like, oh yeah, he's lucky that the Joker was caught before he let off the giant bomb he had planted. And that's because Joker tried to pull the typical, like, oh, kill Lois Lane. Superman didn't really have an attachment to Lois Lane at that point, but still, he's gonna save her, so, yeah. But, yeah. Plus, Joker didn't really have as many materials, considering that he's very early in his career, so. Less materials, less attachment, it just kind of leads to a very, very, very poor thought-out plan and a very big beatdown, so, yeah. But eventually, all the heroes, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Cyborg, face Darkseid. Now, they're basically just kind of wailing on him and trying their best, but when Green Lantern almost had that, like, oh, I'm going to fight Darkseid by myself. Batman just kind of extended his arm at Shadows, grabbing Green Lantern by the collar and telling him, no, you just stay on the side, you're more of a support kind of guy right now, you're pretty useless. Then he kind of just says the same thing to Wonder Woman and Cyborg. Only him stay on the sides, him, Flash, and Superman will go in for the main attack. And kind of using his cloak as like a shadow attachment to just literally pull everyone to certain angles and tell them, stay there, defend. Like Wonder Woman, he goes into her punch, lasso and pull. Green Lantern, shield and block. Cyborg, I don't know what you do, just fire lasers. And just Shazam, play either side. I can tell you're young, just don't be too surprised. So, yeah. With this, the main attack forces just jump at Darkseid, and when Darkseid went in to punch Batman first, thinking of him as the leader, his fist would go through Batman travels across his body, before just kind of going into a suplex, and holding him down, using his insane strength, plus exoskeleton to hold him in place. Since it's not working too well, until Shazam and Superman both grab Darkseid, basically kind of by the face and just being, kind of by the neck and at some point, and just being wailing on them as hard as they can. Flash would see a big opening before just saying, this is going to hurt really bad. Flash runs across the entire planet, over and over again, getting momentum before he runs, landing a very, very strong drop kick, with enough momentum to basically send a shockwave across the entirety of Metropolis. The drop kick would land right on Darkseid's groin. All they all hear is just Darkseid's very loud wail. Batman had covered his ears using his suit, while everyone else was forced to endure it. Flash kind of just laughed, saying, alright, I think that's good. But with this, they call Scream to just stomping on Darkseid until he opens the portal and retreats, not really wanting to fight anymore. So yeah, let's begin the official formation of the Justice League. Batman being the actual leader, considering he can contend a majority of people there. So, yeah. Even Diana's like, yeah, he can beat all of us, probably even Superman, if you give him enough kryptonite. So, yeah. Literally just like 50 times the strength of an average human, and then just some skill and brass knuckles. That's kind of all you need for this Batman. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this part 1. Tell me if you want more. Alright, adios.